Greetings, Hoodoo family. Let's take a few minutes and go over some Hoodoo materials. So, the following is some excerpts from some old lesson videos that I used to have on my channel. Here we have a blue bead, and it's important that the bead is actually glass. And these beads are used for protection. They were highly revered. There was a certain type of African bead, certain types that our ancestors revered, that they remembered, from Africa. One of those was a blue glass bead. This bead represents the watery divide, Kalunga. And this bead, that's why it's used as protection, because spirits do not like this color. And of course, to cross over Kalunga from the land of the living over into the spiritual realm. Next, we have some string. This is another material. I have a whole bag of assorted type strings for all different situations. Green for money, indigo for wealth, just an assortment. This one I use for prosperity. So strings is another material used in Hoodoo. And of course, we cannot forget pyrite. Here is a pyrite stone. Pyrite is used for money, used in all prosperity, money types of Hoodoo works. Another prized material used in Hoodoo. And you can use this in mojos and, like I said, all types of Hoodoo work for money and prosperity. And let's see what we have next. We have lightning wood. This is a piece of a tree that has been struck by lightning. And this is called lightning wood. And this is used for power. It's used for strength. It represents the divine spirit. And you'll encounter this again in lesson 7 when we go over the Hoodoo powers. Another Hoodoo material that's used is bones. Bones represent the spirit. They represent crossing over from the living to the dead. And they're used mostly in rituals, but can be used in mojos. They can be used in jar spells. They can even be used as divination devices because they have the power of the land of the living and the spirit of the dead in them. Another Hoodoo material is a railroad nail, and these are used to make someone go away, and these are often used in rituals. I don't throw them away, I just use them over and over. Never get rid of them because they are reusable, but they're used to make someone go away because the railroad leads out of town. It leads away. Next we have a nail, and this is an antique nail, but nails are used for binding all types of work. This is used to bind the work to someone, bind your Hoodoo work to someone. And they're used in all types of Hoodoo vessels, which we'll go over in lesson 6, and you'll encounter in other lessons as well. Now the next Hoodoo material is simply candy. Candy is used as an offering in hoodoo, and this is mostly used in rituals, whether to your ancestors or if you're doing a hoodoo circle, which you'll learn about. Candy is used to attract the spirits and as a gift to the spirits. Up next we have a badger claw, and the badger claw is used for defense. It's used for fighting and building courage for fighting. It's used in mojos, bottle spells for guarding against, bad luck or guarding against someone. It's used in rituals when you're going against someone. So this is the badger claw. That's another material that's used in hoodoo. Now, very similar to the badger claw, but it is different, is the coyote claw. And the coyote claw is used for protection. It's used to gain you wit. It's used for sharpness. And this is carried as a amulet by itself. Along with the badger claw, it can also be carried as an amulet by itself. So that's the coyote claw. Here we have a crab claw. And I'm not going to take this out the jar because this is an active hoodoo work for protection. There's red pepper in there, so I don't want to bother this. Plus it's going to make me sneeze like crazy. But this is a crab claw, and it represents the spiritual realm protection. A crab is unique because it is believed to be in the land of the living, but also because of its presence in the water. It can also have power or sight into the spiritual realm. And this represents spiritual power and spiritual protection. So this is a crab claw, something that our ancestors used quite often when they could get a hold of it. And next on our list is, of course, paper. And this is actually, let me show you. This is actually a notepad, a sheet from a grocery list notepad that I have cut into various pieces. And what I'll do, I'll just use the back of these. They're perfect for petitions. So you always want to have some paper on hand for your petitions. Next I call this an ancestor rock. It's good to have something that represents ancestral power. This is not actually a rock. This is part of an old brick that slaves in South Carolina, Boone Hill Plantation, they made these bricks and they built the cabins that they had to stay in. So this is something that the hands of the ancestors actually created. You want to have something, a hoodoo material that represents ancestral power, and this is what represents it for me. This is part of an old brick from a slave cabin. And of course you want to have some sort of liquor. Liquor is actually a spirit. It's used for dressing your mojo bags. It's used for dressing all types of hoodoo work to give it power, to recharge it, to reawaken it. And it's also used for offerings to our ancestors, offerings to nature spirits too. So you always want to have some sort of alcohol on hand. Another thing that I like to have is coffee. This is just some instant coffee, but my ancestors, most ancestors, really loved coffee. It was a luxury to many. So being able to provide an offering of a hot cup of coffee is also special. Here I have some dirt from the grave of a protective, well-known ancestor. And this particular dirt is used for protection, but dirts of all sorts is used in hoodoo work. And you'll learn more about the different types of dirts, especially in lesson 11 when we go into enemy work. I'm not going to take this out the bag, but also this is sand. This is just some sand. I actually got this from the dollar store. But sand is used as a medium for foot track work. And you're going to learn how to do foot tracks in lesson 10. But this is another hoodoo material that is used. Coins and dollars, as you see here, is used as an offering to the ancestors, an offering to nature spirits, a gift, an offering at grave sites and graveyards when you're removing dirt from a graveyard and you need to compensate. You can use this. Now, this is not real. This is a fake $100 bill. But this is also used in money rituals, prosperity rituals, where you're trying to increase your money, you're trying to grow money. You can use any of these with that as well. And in this jar, as you can see, this is a prosperity jar. I actually have a rolled up $5 bill as seed money to grow prosperity, and I must say it really is working. And there's my petition in there as well that you can see. So family, I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you're interested in learning traditional hoodoo of our ancestors, go to my website and check out these books. I'm not just telling you about subjects, I'm actually teaching you step by step how to do hoodoo work in all of these books. So go to my website if you're interested in increasing your hoodoo knowledge, especially with traditional hoodoo that is Afrocentric and of our ancestors. I'll see you in the next video.